Hello, investors. So this is a June 2022 end of the month report that's shared to us by the local board of realtors. So I thought I'd run through it with you guys and just kind of show you the state of the market here in the Memphis area overall. So June 2021 versus 2022, total sales nearly 1,900 in 2021 and 2,000 in 2022. So the overall theme of this is going to be a lot of the same. So June existing sales, new home sales, bank-owned sales. So the bank-owned sales stayed about the same. There were 12 last June, 8 this June. Bank-owned sales is the one to keep your eye on because for 2 years, the auctions have been dry as a bone. What I mean by that is pre-COVID, 20 to 30 homes a week were being sold at auction. And most of those homes were people that got behind on their mortgage, or for some reason life changed and they were, had to let the house go back to the bank. Well, that did not stop during COVID, but what did stop was a lot of foreclosures. And there is a pent up demand. There's a lot of people that have gone through divorces or gotten hooked on drugs, whatever caused them to lose their house, that have not been foreclosed on. The big banks have not wanted to evict people from their houses, afraid of class action lawsuits, is the way it was explained to me. There's a huge pile of houses coming our way, and that could be the next big thing that happens in real estate, that maybe lowers prices a bit, gets them calmed down to where they should be a little bit more, especially in these higher priced areas. Inventory is just the same as it was last year, is what this report says. Existing sales last year, 1,781. This year, 1,922. It's a small difference. New home sales, down because there's not enough lots to build on. Most builders are not certain of what the future has to bring, or it's costing so much to build a house in an area it wouldn't even appraise. If you develop the land, the lot cost, the fuel cost to develop land, governmental, butting into the development process, it's going to slow home building for maybe my entire life. Unless they do something crazy like modular homes or something really new and inventive, 3D printed homes, new home sales are not going to be as big a player as they used to be, at least in the Memphis area, because to develop 100 acres, if you gave it to me, would cost $40,000 to $45,000 per lot, and nobody gives you 100 acres. That would also take 18 months if all the stars aligned, and all the stars never align from the time you gave me the land until we're building the first house. So home building has changed completely over the past 2 years. Next, let's look at, active listings. So active listings, pending sales, foreclosures. Let's see what's going on here. So active listings in June of 2022, 2,245. Now let's just quantify that. There's 3,200 realtors in Memphis and a bunch more just down in Mississippi, right across the border. There's not a listing per agent right now. It'd be a hard time to be a realtor. If I was trying to sell houses to my church members and friends and sphere of influence, as they call it, that'd be a tough time. Everybody's fighting for a house to sell. Everybody's fighting for a house to buy. Pending, there's 1,419. So one for half of the agents that are licensed. We've got 38 pending right now. So that we're involved in one way or another. So, thank God that I'm not relying on listing my neighbor's house for a living in this current market. These average list prices are crazy though. $372,000 is our average list for a single family home in Memphis. Right. So that blows my mind. So what that does tell me is that there are plenty of $500,000 and higher homes for sale. If you were in the market to buy a $500,000 home, you'd have your pick. If you're in the market to buy a $185,000 to $235,000 home, which makes a great investment, but it's also what most Memphians can afford. Imagine your average Memphian, a policeman who marries a teacher. They have an $80,000 combined income. They can afford a $235,000 home at the top of their budget if they don't have a rich daddy or uncle giving them money to help. If they're on their own, doing it the American way, the FHA or USDA loan, that's what they can afford. 235 tops, 185 to 235. That's the sweet spot for the average Memphis family. And it's also the perfect spot for investors, which makes it harder for them to buy houses. So let's look at trailing from July of 20 until June of 22 inventory. So at its peak, July of 2020, 2,900 homes listed. That number dwindled, and now it's come back a rapid amount of 200 homes from May to June. So yeah, I mean, it's just staying about consistent is what it looks like. So July of 20 until now, less than 3,000 homes available for sale in the Memphis multi-listing system. Now, this report is available to you. I'm going to try to figure out how to put it in the link to where you can click on the link, but reach out to the team if you want a copy of the June report. We'll get it to you. So this breaks it down by location, each location as you learn Memphis. This will mean more, but let's focus on Cordova. Let's just look at Cordova. I've got a listing on TurnkeyInvest.com right now for $205,000. Best price. You can buy a house in Cordova, period. I bought it with a tenant in place and went out and met with them. And I told them, look, you're either going to have to sign a new lease at a new rental rate or move. Well, they took the first option. Doggone it. I would rather have them have moved out and let me renovate the house, got top rent, and sold it for top price. But we raised their rent as much as I could. I mean, they were paying $1,100. I took them to $1,560. That's a big jump. But they looked around the area. I was below market rent at $1,560. I guess I'm a softie. So they signed a lease. Great. We have a tenant in place paying, it's cash flowing. But now to sell it, I've lowered the price to $205. This house is worth $245 if it were vacant to a homeowner, a hedge fund, or one of you guys if I'd have rented it for $1,800 a month. But that's okay. You win some. If I sell it to one of you guys and have you for the next 30 years, it's a win in my books. 2021, there were 227 homes for sale. 2022, not much different, 238 homes for sale. Now, what that does tell us is 10% of the market that's for sale is Cordova. Interesting. It's only a 4% change, but look at the freaking median sales price. 233 in 2021, 287 2022. Let's look at the average sales price. 250 a year ago, 307 this year. Wow, what an explosion. Why? Well, we're not building any more of these houses. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, all brick, little houses on a postage stamp of a lot. That's what most Memphians need. Maybe not need, want, need. They need that 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom house in a good little area close to Shelby Farms or Germantown Road, whatever they're trying to be close to. That's the majority of the homes for sale. That's what Memphis needs. And they're getting eaten up by, everybody, by homeowners, investors, hedge funds. So Cordova is one to keep an eye out. We do a lot of business. My office is located in Cordova. I manage a lot of houses in Cordova. A little break from this real quick. If you have properties in Memphis and I don't manage them, let me just put it out there. I want to be your manager. If you have a property managed by another company, you're not as satisfied as you'd like to be, let's talk. I just like to throw my hat in the ring and show you what we have to offer. Maybe we're a fit, maybe we're not. Back to the report. So breaking it down with Fraser and Raleigh, downtown, midtown. So this gives you an in-depth description, gives you the data of what's going on. So let's read the press release from the Memphis Board of Realtors. So Memphis area home sales for June increased 6.8% from a year ago, with 2,006 total sales recorded in the Memphis area. Sales were up 0.5% for May. Things are the same is what it's saying. And 13% average sales price from June to June was 13% increase. At 286,000, the inventory increased 8.6% with 2,400 units listed for sale year to date. So then it gives, all right, year over year comparison. Total homes sold last year at this time, 1,800. This year, 2,000. Average or median sales price up 11%. Average sales price up almost 14%. And then down here, I love this. It says the quote from Bill Stewart: "Inventory took a jump, which means buyers will have more selection." Wow, big jump. Well, we are starting to see a little bit more inventory. We aren't seeing any shifts towards a downturn in the market as far as pricing. I know other areas of the country have seen that, and Memphis is usually a little bit behind them. Home prices are going to continue to increase, according to the most conservative guy I follow, Dave Ramsey. And he just spells it out with inflation and supply and demand. Home prices have to increase. There is a true shortage of houses in America. Now, the caveat to that I showed you, I believe there's a big pent-up demand, a big pent-up pool of foreclosures that are going to hit the market all of a sudden, and there'll be big news. I've said it here. It's recorded. But either way, when's the best time to buy a house? Right now, not in the future. And of course, the best time to buy a house 3 years ago. Interest rates were lower, prices were lower. Get your cash working for you. Get it safe from inflation by buying real estate. The only thing to hedge a bet against inflation is real estate. Real estate encompasses all 4 points of an investment: cash flow, leverage, tax advantage, and appreciation over time. If you've got questions, reach out to me and the team at TurnkeyInvest.com. I want to be your boots on the ground for anything you need for real estate. Thanks.